My name is Cassandra Wilson, but most call me Cassie. I'm 34, and last Tuesday, my world turned upside down when I checked my lottery ticket and realized I'd won $47 million. My hands trembled as I confirmed the 6 matching numbers. Once the shock subsided, I decided to keep this fortune a secret. My family's history with money is tangled, and I wasn't ready to share. If you're reading this, leave a comment with your location. Before I dive into this life-altering choice, please like and subscribe for more true stories about family, trust, and betrayal that might shift how you view your own relationships. Before that Tuesday, my life was unremarkable. I worked as an accountant at a small Portland marketing firm, earning enough to get by but never feeling secure. My modest one-bedroom apartment on the city's edge was home, nothing lavish. Each day began at 6 a.m., with coffee and the constant weight of bills and deadlines. My job demanded 60-hour weeks, especially during tax season, leaving little room for anything else. My family dynamics were messy. My parents, Gregory and Diane Wilson, split when I was 14, both remarrying soon after. My father, a physics teacher, wed Stephanie, a real estate agent with costly tastes. My mother married Warren, a wealthy businessman who guarded his wealth tightly. My younger sister, Lisa, 30, was the family's pride, graduating from an Ivy League school, married to a surgeon, Paul, and living in a pristine suburban home with their 2 kids. My older brother, Jason, 36, was charming but aimless, drifting between jobs and relationships, borrowing money with promises he never kept. Extended family added more complexity. Aunt Martha, my mother's sister, was a kind elementary school teacher, living simply despite financial struggles. Aunt Heather, my father's sister, married into wealth and never missed a chance to flaunt it, often criticizing my modest life. Her son, Ryan, inherited her entitlement but struggled with gambling. My experiences with family finances left me wary. 3 years ago, I drained my savings to give Jason $5,000 for rehab, only to learn he never went. I put $2,000 on my credit card for Lisa's wedding, still unpaid 5 years later. When my father needed roof repairs, I helped out, only to see him and Stephanie vacationing in Cancun soon after. My best friend, Charlotte, a nurse I met in college, was my confidant, understanding my frustrations without judgment. Work wasn't much better. My boss, Arnold, claimed credit for my ideas, and my colleague Derek shirked duties, leaving me to cover for him. Despite this, I stayed diligent, hoping for recognition. Buying lottery tickets was my small rebellion, a $10 weekly ritual mocked by my family. My mother called it a tax on the mathematically challenged. Jason suggested I give him the money directly, and my father lectured me on odds. Yet, those tickets held a spark of hope for freedom. I had dreams, traveling beyond Portland, pursuing a master's degree, saving enough to weather emergencies without panic. But in my mid-30s, with student loans and credit card debt, those dreams felt distant. I budgeted meticulously, clipping coupons and driving a decade-old Corolla that rattled in the rain. My life was stable but strained, a constant mental tally of expenses. The winning ticket came on my 34th birthday, after a grueling work week where Arnold took credit for my client saving strategy. At Gus's Corner Market, the owner greeted me warmly. "Happy birthday, Cassie!" The usual? I splurged, spending $20 and choosing numbers tied to loved ones. My birthday, 3/16, my mother's, 12, father's, 21, Aunt Martha's, 9, and Charlotte's, 30. That night, alone with takeout and wine, I checked the 8 p.m. drawing. Each number matched 3/16, 12, 21, 9, 30. Disbelief gave way to confirmation via the TV replay. I was the sole winner of $47 million, about $28 million after taxes. Sleepless, I researched lottery winners' fates, tales of greed, broken families, and bankruptcy. By morning, I resolved to keep my wins secret, even from Charlotte. I called in sick and met Philip Montgomery, a financial attorney. In his sleek office, I explained my need for anonymity. He outlined setting up a blind trust to claim the prize privately, warning that premature disclosure could be irreversible. Over 2 weeks, we secured the funds, created investment accounts, and planned for lifelong financial stability. Yet, I maintained my old routine, work, bills, my creaky Corolla, while secretly a millionaire. The secrecy grew heavy. I wondered how my family would react to my wealth. To find out, I devised a test. I'd claim I lost my job and needed $5,000 for rent and medical bills, then see who helped. I shared this plan with Charlotte, who worried it was manipulative, but helped me refine the story. My firm closed due to the CEO's embezzlement, my emergency fund was drained by medical tests, and the job market was tough. I predicted my mother might offer partial help. My father would lecture. Lisa would cite her kids' expenses. Jason would ghost me. Warren and Stephanie would refuse. Heather would judge, and Ryan would make empty promises. I hoped Aunt Martha might help despite her limited means. I called my mother first. She sounded concerned, but cited a recent lake house purchase, suggesting I ask my father or Lisa. My father lectured me on financial planning, offering no help. Lisa sympathized, but mentioned their new Audi and kids' tuition, promising to discuss with Paul, but avoiding follow-up. Jason texted briefly, then ignored me. Stephanie and Warren dismissed my request outright, and Ryan flaked on a promised lunch. Heather criticized my choices, later gossiping about my irresponsibility. Exhausted, I hadn't yet contacted Martha when she called me, having heard from my mother. She offered $3,000, nearly her entire savings, despite her own diabetes-related costs. At lunch, she also offered her pull-out sofa. Her selflessness overwhelmed me. Later, I confessed the truth to her. The job loss was a test, and I'd won $47 million. She was the first I told, moved by her genuine care. Martha wasn't angry, only sad I felt the need to test the family. She shared her own story of betrayal. An ex-husband who stole her inheritance, reinforcing that money reveals character. I set up a trust for Martha's medical and retirement needs and bought her a comfortable home nearby. I left my job to start a nonprofit for elderly people living alone, inspired by Martha. Charlotte joined as outreach coordinator. My family remained unaware of my wealth, believing I'd landed a better job. At a family meeting, I addressed their lack of support, claiming a new job had saved me. Their excuses confirmed my decision to keep the secret. A year later, I live in a modest home, run a thriving nonprofit, and maintain a close bond with Martha and Charlotte. My family relationships are distant but honest. I've anonymously helped with some of their genuine needs, like my father's medical bills and Ryan's rehab, without revealing my wealth. The lottery didn't change who my family was. It showed me who they'd always been. More importantly, it taught me my own worth, freeing me from seeking approval through sacrifice. True love, like Martha's, gives without expectation. My wealth brought clarity, purpose, and peace, proving that real riches lie in relationships built on mutual respect. Have you ever tested someone's loyalty? What did you learn? Share below, and if this story resonated, like and subscribe for more life lessons. Share this with someone who needs to know their worth isn't tied to what they give.